Hi guys, how are you? This is Pano. We're in the woods today, and I want to have a little discussion about. We're gonna do a knife introduction, but before I get to the knife introduction, I want to have a little talk with you guys. So, almost everything I need to do in the woods, I can pretty much do it with two of William Collins' blades. One is the Northern Woodsman, and second, and also favorite, Master Woodsman Model 2. Now, the Model 2 Master Woodsman, it's a true bushcraft knife. This knife, with the Woodsman grind, it's a knife that I can't even say enough about it. But it's the actual, like, it's my favorite knife, like I said in the past, and it's a knife that you can do a huge amount of tasks. And if I would call it something, it would be the one knife option. So, but when you have a blade like this, okay, you have, it's not that you can't do some things, but you want some things to do like more, with more finesse, more like more detailed work, let's say you want to do. And just ask yourself, what do you mostly do in the woods when you're in the woods? Okay, so you're gonna do some bushcraft, and then you're gonna camp. So when you're camping, you're gonna prepare food. So pretty much, if you're not gonna do bushcraft, the other reason you're gonna use your knife is for food preparation. So that's most people, what I see in videos and this and that. Me personally, my primary reason for a knife is skinning, cutting meat, processing animals. That's my primary reason. And I also like whittling and fixing some things, but that's not necessity. I do it because I like it, okay? Which is nothing wrong with that. So let's say you have your knife, you can do your heavier tasks, you can do some chopping, you can do some wood processing, you can start your fires. So now you're getting into the food prep. So William came up with a knife. That's the Master Sportsman. So let's take a look at the knife. You can come closer. So this is the knife, and that's the knife William was showing in flat grind. And it's a gorgeous, stunning knife. It's stunning, guys. Like, it's, I don't know how it comes up on the camera, but it's very, very pretty knife. Very pretty handle, very comfortable handle. Okay, again, multi-position handle, 3-position handle. Get to your front, and it's got the hidden lanyard. It's got this the rolled back that we like when we cut things in control. You don't have something poking your sides. It comes with beautiful colors, liners, different choices, whatever choice. I think he had like 4 choices on them. We're moving up closer. His logo here, gorgeous. And he did the sweep here, so you can come close, and you have a little bit different than other times that he was ending in the woods. Now he gets to the blade a little bit, so you're coming close to the blade, and you have instant grind. We talked about here, you have a lot of control when you're cutting here. It's got a beautiful belly going up for skinning. Okay, for especially this is perfect for small game skinning. Now when you're skinning small game, you don't need the big belly like the Northern Woodsman or the Master Woodsman. And also, you also own this knife. You have this knife, so this is your secondary blade. This is not the knife you're gonna baton. This is your secondary blade for kitchen prep. And I'll tell you something about skinning, since we're getting into the sweeping. If you guys skin large game, one of the important tasks to do is you have to clean the rear part of the animal in the back. So if you have a huge knife, big knife with a big belly like the Northern Woodsman or the Master Woodsman, okay, and you say you're cutting a smaller whitetail and you want to cut around to remove the rear of the animal, you have your hand inside. Okay, before you put your hand inside, first you cut around this is not that. This is something that these knives, both of my knives, they're not very. They don't make the circle cut knives because they're bigger knives, and now you're cutting a little area. Now, where this for me, it's gonna be so handy for this task: going in, cutting, taking your rear of the animal, taking the throat from the throat, and you're taking all your gut pile right out. You take your liver, you take the rest of your heart, your liver. So this is gonna be awesome for gutting assist for me. That's one task. I'm gonna use this personally, but it's also, if you have this as secondary blade, if you like now want to play with your knives, which is normal like I said, and you want to actually use it, I bet you 90% of the time you'll be using your secondary blade, this one. So let's get to some cutting, and let's finish. So the tip is perfect for your light cutting. You come right to the front, you do whatever, very controllable. It's wide enough, you can hold it again, and you can control the tip so nice. It's got a flex to it. Okay, it's got a flex, just like fillet knife. I'm not a fisherman, but I'm sure there's other people that are fishing and gutting fish, and that would be so wonderful, even for filleting your meat. This is a cutting blade. So let's see how this knife is gonna cut some pineapple. So we have our pineapple here, and cutting it back. And it's long enough to like it's almost like a chef knife, and I bet you it cuts better than a chef knife, as you guys gonna see now. So to cut a pineapple, this is the technique I use anyway. There's different opinions and techniques about many things. So you cut it in half, you cut it like nothing. Now you have the center of the pineapple, which you gotta make a cut. He cuts it like it's a pear. extreme sharp edge. William, this is not my edge this time on this knife. I haven't used it. This is all William, what you guys see. This is how your knife is gonna come. You take the center core out, slice this in half, and now you slice this way. And you don't want to cut down. You gotta be able to control your knife. You don't want to cut the skin off the pineapple. And then you cut in the middle. Stretch it open, and then cut it to bite-sized pieces like this. This is something you can't really do comfortable with your bigger blades. Processing food, you can, but most of people can't. Is somebody coming? So let's get to the second piece. So this is something that it can get awkward with your bigger blades, processing food, but you gotta come close for this. If you see how this knife cuts, and how thin it is, and the control because of the handle, the contours. Look at my hand. I have a contour here, I have a contour here. I keep the knife nice and steady. I can see my blade, and I can be very accurate on my cut. And when you're accurate, you cut your pineapple or whatever you're processing with very minimum, see just this little seed, that's it. With very minimum waste. So this is a true knife, okay? This is why would you need a knife. Now, we're not talking about survival knives. We're not talking about kitchen prep. It's very important, and it's something you do daily. You're not gonna survive every day. You're not gonna go carve wood every day. Very few of us do it every day. The only time of year I do it every day is hunting season, when I'm deep in the woods and I take a week off, but I'm not gonna be more than a week in the woods. Okay, that's the most time I'm personally gonna spend. Even if you're a trapper, okay, if you're trapping animals, you don't use your knife at all times. You kill your animals, you freeze them, and at the end of your season, when they unfreeze, then you start skinning them and processing them. What you use daily is your cutting blade, is your everyday knife. That's what you're gonna use. That's gonna get used most of the time. So, like I said, if you guys notice yourselves, the primary blade, you use it not as often as your secondary blade. Your food prep. You can cut your steak. You can cut your fruit. You can do precise work that you don't cut your fingers off. And it's wide enough. You can grab whatever you cut. So personally, I really think this is gonna be a daily use knife for me, and I love the design that William came up with. So he comes on a flat grind, and he also comes on a saber. But the flat grind, guys, it's a razor. It's a little razor blade. It's not. Let's see here. I'll show you here. Look at how it slices. Okay, pineapple is not flying away. He just cuts it. Look at the front portion of it. It's an amazing knife for your everyday use and some. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.